In our community, we used to ask the question, what will you be doing and where will you be when you're financially free? I think it was a great question to kind of get our minds to envision what is possible. What do I want for my life? Which is a really good aspiration, like dreaming, sometimes giving ourselves license to dream. Today, though, I want to address this from a different angle. And if you're a saver, if you're someone who's a hoarder, if you're someone who stresses out every time your family wants to go somewhere, whether that's to a restaurant or on a vacation, this is for you. This video is specifically for you. Now, you're not necessarily going to like it, but you need to hear it. I was sitting in the gym today, and right before I got ready to leave, there was this 70-year-old guy. He was putting on his tennis shoes, telling me he was heading to his quote-unquote job. I said, "What's your job?" He said, "I teach seniors how to play tennis." Now, I think he's a volunteer from what he was telling me. I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." And he's seeing me like put on my shirt. He goes, "You must be going to a real job." He said, "But let me share some wisdom with you." He says, "Make sure as you're working that you don't pass up the opportunity to enjoy life." I was like, "What do you mean by that?" He says, "Most of the people that I work with on the tennis courts, they're there because their spouses has forced them to get out of the house because they've spent their whole life working. They never did anything else. And now they've gotten to the point in life where they have nothing to do, and so they're searching." And he says, a lot of times it's sad. It's sad to see people who have never done anything. All they've done their whole life was work. And now they're at a point where they're like, what's next? Almost disappointed in what's happening. Robert Kiyosaki calls savers losers. And I think he was referring to the inflation and the impacts on the US dollar. But in this regard, if we're savers only, never enjoyers of the fruit of our labor, will we find ourselves at some point in the future not knowing what to do? Because old habits die hard. They die really hard. So if you spent your whole life saying, when I retire, when I get to retire, that's when I'm going to enjoy things. Are you really? Have you ever met anybody who's done anything consistently over and over for a long period of time and then all of a sudden switched? Of course not. Don't expect yourself to either. Financial freedom is about enjoying the things that we want to do. And this isn't meant to be a way to swing the pendulum all the way to the other side and to call your wife and say, "Yeah, now we need to buy the boat. Russ said I need to be enjoying life." It means we need to find things to enjoy. Can we find things that can pay for the things that we can enjoy and still be getting closer to our goals? Because the whole objective is not to get to retirement and then say, okay, now I get to enjoy things. There's your thought for the day.